Hi. Oh my gosh, this is it. This is the intro. We're
doing
finally sitting down and we're doing it, and it's super exciting.
We're very, very excited. I feel like this has been a long time coming too.
I think so too. Like, I think it's kind of crazy that A, we've been friends for this long, B, we're still doing crazy stuff together, and C, we kind of never stop coming up with creative ideas.
So true. 14 years, people. We've been friends.
Seriously.
It's a long time.
Like, not that a podcast is a new concept, but but I think
we invented podcasting.
Exactly. We actually did. We're actually the first people ever to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think that it's really fun because you know, like, I just love doing stuff with you. Yeah. So I'm really excited.
And I feel like for so long we've done our hot girl walks every week,
yes.
and we have been like, where is the microphone? Because that was pretty good.
Exactly. We've just been like sending each other like video messages, voice messages that are just like half an hour long. Actually, I think I've gotten to 20 minutes before.
Yeah,
so.
that's the record, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So we were like, you know what? Let's just sit down and just get it all out, feeling inspired, feeling good.
Yes.
And just see what we can do.
Definitely.
So, yay. Welcome to the Insert Name Here podcast.
Welcome. We have no name yet, so we'll work it out.
We'll get there, because you know what? It actually isn't that serious.
It's not.
Like, we're having fun. I feel like we'd be doing this anyway on a Friday over a coffee.
Yep.
So we'll figure it out. So stay tuned. So Zoe, my queen.
Hi.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Why are you hanging out with me on a Friday? Tell me why you wanted to start this podcast with me.
It is so triggering to hear the words, so tell me a bit about yourself, because suddenly
I know, I said that and I was like, oh, I'm a substitute teacher. Like,
suddenly you forget, and it
Love
feels like
substitutes.
you're in the room at uni where they're like, icebreaker time, or
3 fun facts, go.
Yes, or you're in a job interview, so tell me a bit about yourself. But anyway,
I'm sorry for the trauma that I've caused.
no, it's great. So basically, I am a 24-year-old girlie from the Sunshine Coast. I actually started my own podcast a year and a half ago because I never was consistent with it. I'm a new mum, so I fell pregnant not long after starting it last year. So I was really excited about these sorts of topics and talking about all of this, but I just was so sick through my pregnancy, and then I stopped doing it. But I really just felt like there was something missing. Like, I wanted to go back to it, but then I tried, and then I felt like I wanted it to be more of a conversation, and I wanted it to be us, like how we bounce off of ideas off of each other. Like, it just didn't feel right, me doing it fully by myself. So last year we fell pregnant, recently had a baby.
We fell pregnant
together. And so I'm a new mum. I think, like, for Kirra and I, we've been doing a lot of I think just growth over the last few years, a lot of lessons that we've learned, a lot of things we're really passionate to speak about, because I think that past us would have wanted to hear a lot of the things that we speak about now and the things that we've learnt, because I think it wouldn't have taken us so long maybe to get to certain pathways without the knowledge of the things that we had learnt, and doing things even when it didn't feel comfortable. But I feel like all of that we've learnt is like beneficial to other people who also just want to feel better in their skin, essentially want to feel better in who they are, in their bodies, in their lifestyle, without, I guess, like the inner critic voice of being hard on yourself, or following the unhealthy pathways of maybe like wanting to lose weight but restricting food and having a bad relationship with food. And I think just like all of the things that we've learnt could be helpful to people that are at the start of the journey like we were. And I think we just look back and we're so proud of like our separate journeys and how far we've come, that it just creates this really passionate space where for so long we just talk about it so much because it's changed our life. And
yes,
it's exciting.
Love that. And you know, your journey with motherhood is one thing as well. And, you know, from the conversations that I've had with you, like that is the most life-changing thing for you, which is so, so special to hear. But I know that as well as that journey, you've also been on this incredible like fitness journey as well. Did you want to chat about that at all?
Okay.
I think you should, because you're one hell of a woman.
Thank you.
Like, just really quick, just to interject, your mindset and motivation and just absolute ability just to take something and go, you know what, I'm gonna do that, like just blows me away every time. Like, you jump into things with 100% energy and focus and confidence, and even in the moments where you feel, you know, well, you've said to me that you feel like, you know, you're not doing as well or you're sliding or whatever, like, just so that you know, from an outside perspective, every single thing that you do reaches success in my eyes. So I am always so crazy telling people like about you and like your journey with motherhood and your fitness journey. Not that it's my story to tell, obviously, but I know that you're proud of it and I'm proud of it for you. I want to like shout it from the freaking rooftops and be like, this is my bestie and we make each other better. So
I love that.
Tell
I
me.
appreciate that. So a couple years ago, I lost 30 kilos. Well, over a couple years. And I got to my goal weight and then saw a positive pregnancy test.
Yeah,
so that's where we're at. I think like that was a huge journey, and Kirra also being on her own journey at the time, I felt like we really motivated each other, because it's such an isolated journey sometimes when you're working on something really big. It's taking up so much of your headspace and so much planning, but then the people around you don't always fully get it. So just connecting with someone who was on a similar journey. I went on an alcohol-free journey as well, which is something I'll speak about later. But yeah, so that was really big, I think, because I'd come from a position where I didn't feel good in my body, in my clothes, like in my skin. I didn't like who I was. I felt very disconnected from myself too, disconnected from movement. And I'd grown up being someone who was really into, like dancing and fitness and walking and all of that. And then I'd moved out of home. COVID hit, all of these different things were happening around the same time, and I just have come so far from being in a place where I didn't feel good in my body, but instead of blaming everything around me, which I did for a while, as we all can do at times, where it's like, oh, I just don't have enough time. I couldn't do that, or, you know, she can do it because it comes naturally to her or whatever. Like, I just reached a point where I stopped blaming everything else around me and started taking responsibility for how I want to feel in everyday life, and not just like aesthetically with how my body looked, but also like I wanted to feel good when I put on an outfit. I wanted to feel good in photos. I wanted to be someone that I felt more connected with. So I think that had started that whole journey of actually, I want to build a body that I feel really strong in, I feel really good in. And you know, I didn't have a good relationship with food at the time. It was very much comfort and that binge restrict cycle too, which never got me anywhere. It was that whole like, I'll start again on Monday, and I just would keep going through that cycle. So yeah, that was really helpful, I think, to get to that point of actually I'm going to address all these things and I'm going to do the hard things, because I really want to be someone I'm proud of. I want to feel connected with myself again. I want to lose weight, and not, again, from like a shallow perspective of just wanting to lose weight to look good, but actually because I don't feel good. I feel sick after every meal. I want to feel, good in my skin and all those things. So that really started the journey, and yeah, I'm keen to talk more about it. But yeah, that's pretty much my journey the last few years, and then again pregnancy, postpartum, and now how that's all connected to that journey too, because everything I learnt back then is really applying now, and how I live my life, how I view myself and food, and how I worked so hard before pregnancy to now have a really positive relationship with myself and my body, and also what I want to model to my daughter as well. So that's me. Yeah, and I know that you've also, in the last couple of years, also been on your own fitness journey, because that's something we've really bonded on and, you know, did hard things together. And I think it was so motivating too. Even Kirra and I, all last winter, we would get up early in the morning. It was freezing, getting out of bed at 5 a.m. and we'd start the day with a Pilates class and a walk and a coffee, and we'd fully completed our workout, socialize with a friend, all before going to work in the morning. And we were people that were like, I don't have time. I work full time, but we made the time because we prioritized our goals and just bonded on the fact that we were doing the hard things together. So tell me about your journey of doing the hard things, your fitness the last few years. Open-ended question.
Oh, thank you. Oh, what an intro. How do I follow that? But yeah, so thank you for asking. Pretty much we've been friends, literally for like 14 years, and
Crazy.
always like you're one of the people that I absolutely look up to, and you started on this journey of like getting stronger and like losing the weight, which like is just like such a mindset change that it changes your brain chemistry. And I was watching you and watching like the feelings that you had, like the successes that you had of like the scale dropping and you lifting like heavy weights, and you were like, I feel so much better. And I was kind of like I want to do that. And I think especially growing up with like anxiety, which is like gotten better now, but like anxiety, just the real almost like an inability to action something, like it feels like I'm always supposed to be doing something different, right? But I think that like I kind of had that feeling of like, oh, like I want to go to the gym, like I went a little bit in school and stuff like that, like with my dad, which was so good, and like it was fantastic. But it's just like you always are wishing for something else, and like, oh, I want to start this. And so I saw your wins, and I saw how like confident you were, and you saw the numbers dropping, and I was like, what's actually stopping me? And I know that you were such a big help in that as well, because you had already taken that leap, I guess, of going, I'm starting and I'm committing to this, which is like, I know it's cliche, but like that is the hardest thing to do. It is so hard. But yeah, you really inspired me to be like, oh, okay, like if I want to have these feelings and look like this and act like this, like I've got to do something about it. And also as well, it was really important to me that I was not going to like pull you down in a sense. Like we've all been through the friendships and the hardships of you trying to raise yourself up almost, and people try to pull you down, and they make you feel embarrassed, or they make you feel like you're doing something weird. And like I never wanted to be the person that was being the anchor for my friends, so I saw you having all these gorgeous wins, and I was like, Zoe's going up here. Am I going to take that and rise to the challenge and go, you know what? I love that motivation. Like, I love how you're feeling. I want to meet you at that level. Or am I just going to stay down here and be like shameful almost that, oh, I couldn't do that. Or am I just going to try it and do it? And I remember there was just a definite defining point. I'd like just finished work. It was super late. I was like at the office, and I was talking to you on Messenger and voice noting and stuff like that. And I picked up the phone to the closest gym to me, which was walking distance, and I signed up immediately. And then I went, okay, I don't know how to do this, so let's look at like that free PT session that they include in the membership and stuff like that. And you know, I'm so fortunate that I have like the time and the funds and the independence to be able to do that, obviously. But I was kind of just like, you know what, I'm at the stage of my life where if I don't change it now, like I'm just going to spend the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, who knows, my entire life just wishing that I was somebody else. And I was like, nah, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. This it girl almost version of me from when I was a kid, you know, wanting to be that girl when you grew up. Like, I was kind of like, well, what's stopping me from trying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that we've only got one life. Like, if I'm not happy in my life, why am I waiting for the moment to change it when I could just do it now? And it sounds so cliche, but like you really do just have to start just small steps at a time. So anyway, that was kind of the turning point for me. And then now I do personal training, and I, you know, go to pole, which you got me into, and aerials and Pilates, and you know, I'm doing fun things that now, like, it's just my schedule and it's just fun, and like I'm getting one step closer to, you know, where I want to be, which changes all the time, by the way. I feel like I'm never going to get there, but I want to get close, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my journey and what I've been focusing on, and
And I think that's the thing that I've noticed heaps from you, is the fact that you said it was something you wanted to do for a long time. You took that step and now it's your lifestyle. Like, you've made your goals easy in a way because you're doing it all week, you're working on it, you're enjoying the spaces that you're at and the places that you go. And I think, like, when we make it this big scary thing that we don't actually enjoy, and it turns into like a form of punishment for ourselves, trying to get to a lower number or just have those, I guess, like critical thoughts about ourselves and exercise and how we don't actually enjoy it, it's just something that we have to do, then I think that's when we stop doing that, because it's not something that we enjoy. And I've seen you, and I remember that as well, because you were like, you know, I've moved areas, and I think you were meant to finish a gym membership, but you were like, I can't fathom it, because I feel like it's those things that seem really simple but are such mental blocks in our mind of, I really need to cancel that membership because I'm paying for it and I'm not going, I've moved. And just picking up the phone that night and actually making it happen, that is the hardest thing. Even though it seems really simple to make a call, or, you know, everything's sign up online or whatever. Gosh, as soon as you give a gym your number though, you never hear the end of it. Yes. So be mindful. It's very frustrating.
And like I don't know, if it was just like an age thing or like an anxiety thing or what. But it's like there's such like big steps, but then when you actually do it, you're kind of like, oh, like I just have to break it down. And that's something that my PT says all the time. Like when we're doing...
Shout out Mark
Redmond, let's go. But like, you know, it's just like you've got to break it down, and one step at a time will get you there. It might be slower depending on how you want to do it, but it'll get you there. And even just something as simple as picking up the phone, like it can be just this big step, but my life has completely changed because I did that, and I took that scary step, and I was uncomfortable for that little period of time so that my life could be better for it.
Yes, and something that you always used to say was, time's going to pass anyway. And I feel like I think of that on a weekly basis now. Yeah, you did. There's so many like Kirra quotes that are in my head all the time. She lives up here. But like that really stood out to me, because there's that whole notion of like, oh, I'll start Monday, or I'll you know, I'll just get through this weekend and then I'll start next week or whatever. And we keep pushing it back and pushing it back. And something that I really struggled with was the all or nothing mindset, where it was like, if I'm not perfect and 100% and I'm not going from 0 to 100 of working out 5 days a week, then it actually doesn't count, because you're not doing it the fastest way. You're not fully committing. But knowing that time's going to pass anyway, And every single decision that you make, even if it's like not going the extreme end and it's just, oh, I'm going to start walking a few times a week, or just starting small, it all actually adds up because it's your consistency. So you saying time's going to pass anyway, it's like, wouldn't you rather just do the thing, even if you're not, doing it in a way that's unrealistic? I remember starting like schedules for myself. I'm going to do this, I'm going to start this diet, and then it would never happen because it was unsustainable. Whereas now just doing those small sustainable changes to your routine through your weeks, adding that bit of movement, adding like more veggies or protein without even like taking away food groups, which is not healthy, I feel like, when we're cutting carbs, because carbs are energy. So I feel like us just not going the extreme end and knowing, well, time's going to pass anyway. I would rather get to the end of the year and have, worked on my goal in some ways and done things, on a weekly basis slowly, than get to the end of the year and still have the same lifestyle that I wanted to change, but I'll just wait till the new year.
Exactly, because like time passes so fast.
Yeah.
We both kind of got this.
It's June, man.
I know. Like, what? But like I don't know exactly what the turning point was, but I remember this, like, as you grow up, and I know that, we're both 24, like, and not being like, oh my gosh, we're all grown up, because like, when do you ever grow up, really? But like, but like noticing at like family like birthdays or Christmases or whatever, even, it's like, seeing people that you haven't seen in years, or like kids growing up, and all of a sudden, like, I feel like I became like a young adult, and now I'm like, whoa, time is passing so fast. And it's crazy, when you don't see people for ages and then you see them and they've changed so much, right? It's like, because we're with ourselves, every single day, like, of course we're not going to see this drastic change unless we do something drastic, which might be unhealthy or, something like that. But like you're with yourself every day, and those small changes, like, you might not even notice them. And it's kind of just about, like, how you feel. And I think that, one of the main things that's super hard, like, when you start and when you don't start small, is you're like, I'm putting in all of this effort, why aren't I seeing these drastic results? But it's like, if you start small, like, it might take a little bit longer, but like, you're gonna get there. And I think that's something that we say a lot, is like, to a degree, you can't go backwards on progress. As in, once you know certain things about, how you feel after you go for walks, or if you like doing Pilates, or, oh, this option of food makes me feel better than this one. Like, once you know that information, you can't really go back. So you put in these small baby steps, but because you're reinforcing them, the really small habits, you're not going backwards. Like, you're still going to get there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like what you always say to another Kirra quote. Stop. Get out of my brain. But you used to always say that sometimes we just, like you said, we're with ourselves all the time, and sometimes we just raise the bar higher and higher. So it's important to look back sometimes and go, even though it's easy to keep striving for more and keep going, and, maybe be hard on yourself, because I hear that from you sometimes, where it's like, I just, I feel like I'd be here by now, or I feel like I'm not doing this enough. And it's like, look at your lifestyle, look at yourself. You in the past would have been like, God, I wish I was there, and that's really motivating, because even though it's always good to strive for more and set more goals and, just improve at things you want to improve on, but it's still important to look back and go, wow, I've actually come a long way, and I actually enjoy all these things. And a week where maybe I chose different food, or maybe I didn't train, or maybe I had something personal going on that week, or emotional. But it's like, you don't need to hold yourself to that full standard all the time, because sometimes it can turn into something where it's like, well, I'm actually not looking at how far I've come. I'm just setting the bar so high. And even that's why I like to take progress videos too, and not just look at the scale, because it's like, sometimes the scale won't move, and I look exactly the same in the mirror, but then I look at a video and go, actually, I have seen change, and it just, I think, helps you feel better about it because you're not constantly trying to set the bar too high that you can't look back and appreciate what you've done.
Exactly. I saw a peer-reviewed journal article, which is actually just a TikTok, but don't tell anyone, of a creator, on there, saying, like, maybe the reason you're not reaching the bar is because you keep setting it higher every single time. And ever since I saw that, like, it changed my brain chemistry. Because it's like, even, if we could go back to ourselves a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and if we could show them us now, they'd be like, whoa, I could never do that. I can't imagine that. Or, I mean, maybe, but like, at least for me, I'd be like, I can't do that. But then, like, you can, because we're doing it, because we've made those small steps, we've made those small changes. But just like, yes, we're raising the bar higher, but we're doing that because we have smashed our goals. We've smashed the expectations that we kind of put upon ourselves, like, which is just something that is so motivating in itself. It's like, obviously how we live and how we train, like, all of it fluctuates because that's life. But those small, like, core memory baby steps, things that happen as we're learning and we're open to learn, that, creates that, like, success, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think the things that are going to stick are what's sustainable. So I think we've all been there where we're like, on Monday, we're going on a diet, we're doing all the things. Yeah. But I think, like, we fully miss the mark on that because it's not sustainable. So every single time it never works. And then you just, maybe that's you, where you get stuck in a cycle where you're hard on yourself and you just feel like you stop starting, you're setting out all these goals and plans that you want to do, but you can never execute them. I feel like for me, when I was there, it was because I was setting things that were really unrealistic, because someone who doesn't go to the gym and can barely use equipment because they don't know how is,
Shout out Mark.
Yeah, thanks Mark.
Thanks,
but but like, you can't just expect yourself to go to the gym independently 5 days a week when you have the worst anxiety and you're not starting at an achievable rate. And you might even hate going. Maybe it's just like starting once or twice a week and it's actually building up from something small, because you can always increase it later, but it's keeping the promises that you set for yourself too, because you actually build so much trust in yourself when you do the things you say you're going to do. Because that was us all last winter through Pilates. And we would, it was so motivating doing it together, because we knew that we were accountable to ourselves, but also that Kirra would be getting up when it was cold and getting her ass down. Getting her ass down to the reformer. So it was like, it was exciting because we got to finish feeling so set up for the day. I was in the best mood. We felt productive, and we just went and got a walk and caught up and got a coffee. And like, how many people can say they've socialized before a work day? Seriously. I feel like it was putting more time in our day too. And it was also breaking past the mentality of like, I don't have time, I work full time. And it's like, but if it's important to you, you'll have time, because you might be prioritizing scrolling for a few hours in the morning and you have time for that. And it's not a judgment to those things, because that's what I was doing, but it was actually realizing that I was holding me back. And that was a hard conversation to have with myself.
Ooh,
yeah.
I was holding me back.
I was holding me back. And it's not in the sense of like a really self-critical way, but I think it was just being honest, and even like, I can't afford the gym because I'm a broke uni student, and I'm repeating that again and again to myself. But was I affording Uber Eats multiple times a week? Yes, I was.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I can't afford this. And it's like, well, girl, your nails are done.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
What are you prioritizing? What's more important? And it actually takes having those honest conversations with yourself
100%.
And being accountable and going, actually, there is something I can change here.
Exactly. And I love like having those harsh conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I said this to you. I don't think I'll mention this on the pod because it makes me sound really mean, but
safe space, girl.
Safe space. So like, and obviously I I would never motivate somebody else like this. This is strictly for me because I know that this works for me. Like when things get hard, and especially I'm sure that you got the same in the first couple of months, where you were just working so hard, and you're like, this sucks. Like you'll finish a hard workout session or like be at the end of it, and you're just like, am I going to do this for the rest of my life? And it's really hard. But something that I kind of repeat, at least in my brain, every single time is, this is the life you wanted. How hard are you willing to work to get it? And obviously I'd never say that to somebody else, because everyone's motivations, everyone's goals are different, and it's like your journey. So like whatever
take it as you will.
Yeah, take it as you will. Like whatever motivates you, girl, do whatever you want. But for me, I'm like, if you want to be that like confident, fun, strong, like beautiful it girl, like, are you gonna work for it? Because if it was easy, like everyone would do it.
Yeah.
And you know, like that's something that really motivates me. It's like, well, you picked this life. Like, are you going to work for it, or are you going to hold yourself back?
Yes.
And yeah, like I think that that's motivation. Like it really works for me. Like in a hard period of life, or literally just a hard Pilates session in the last 5 minutes, and I'm fighting for my life doing scooters. But like,
damn scooters.
Shout out Dakota. But you know, it's like, this is the life you want. How hard are you willing to work to get it and to keep it?
Yes, and I think it even feels better when you get there too, because you know that the average person is not doing that, you know, and I think it just sets you apart from the people that are willing to do the hard things to get to where they want to be, because it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable sitting here for our first podcast recording, you know, and
when I look this way,
it's terrifying.
Sorry, it's terrifying.
But like, you know, it's doing the things that are hard and uncomfortable, because you know that you put in the reps, and the more that you do it, the stronger you become, and you get to you know, to the place that you want to be, because you're doing the things. And something that I used to always do, which I know you know, but my 30-minute walk lunch breaks.
I tell people about that all the time.
Guys, you're at work unpaid for 30 minutes. Do you want to make small talk with your colleagues about the weather, or do you want to get to your goals?
Get your goals.
Because like for me, it doubled. As most things I do, there's multiple reasons I do one thing. And that's, it was downtime for me to get out. It was getting some sunshine in, except peak summer. I'd be sweating by the end of it. But like, yes. And for me, like I was in a standing run around sort of job before my last one. So that was a big change for me to like just sit down in a desk. And even with my energy, I feel like I just had so much like trapped energy, and my body, for me, like I don't feel good when I don't move and when I don't walk. I notice the difference mentally, physically. So for me, it was just that dedicated half an hour for me where I'd catch up on voice notes from friends. I would listen to podcasts, listen to music, and I would just take that time for myself where I was getting my steps in. And when you're in an office job, it's very difficult to get your steps in on the daily through the week. Weekends is a lot easier because you're walking around the markets or you're meeting friends for walks or whatever. But for me, it was just that dedicated half an hour that got my steps in. And I feel like it was that the habits that carry you through weeks where you're unmotivated and you don't feel like it, because it was never an active decision to go out on the walk. I would set my like my work clock off, clock in or whatever, and I would set that and I would put headphones in and I'd be out the door for half an hour. And for me, even when I didn't feel like it, I didn't have to think about it, because like I just would get up and go. And even through pregnancy, there were times where I definitely couldn't, but for so much of my pregnancy, I was still getting out that door, going on that walk, getting that bit of movement in. And because I cut back on training a lot, it was still a bit of movement that I was able to do, and it was because I'd set those habits beforehand. So it made it so much easier to carry through because when you get to that point in your fitness journey where you don't just do it for aesthetics and you have deeper reasons and it feels so good for your brain to just get outside, for your body to move, you're more likely to continue it because you get those benefits and it just feels so good.
Yeah, 100% agree. And also, like, I think that about, like, I guess, like, choosing your heart.
Yes. Yes. Choose your heart.
Hard, guys. But yeah, like, almost, like, in that way about, like, motivation, choosing your heart, like, that looks different for every person, for everybody. So, like, because, like, I can, like, imagine, you know, your training and your lifestyle would be so much different before pregnancy, and during pregnancy it's like some things would be so much harder compared to just your regular schedule. So it's like, you know, I think that there's, at least for me, like, I had a big barrier of like oh, well, like, you know, jumping to 100% and going, yeah, like, gym 5 days a week, and I'm gonna do all this weight training and stuff, and, like, I didn't know what I was doing, and that was unattainable hard. But me, I chose my hard by going, okay, I'm gonna do assisted workouts like Pilates, I'm gonna reach out to this PT, and, like, you know, stuff like that, where it's like, this is still me pushing myself. I don't have to go to the bloody moon. Like, this is my hard right now. And now, currently, my hard looks different to my hard 3 years ago. But it's still the fact that I chose something hard, we chose something hard, and went, yeah, let's do it. Like,
yes.
So different for everyone.
And hard, yeah. Because, yeah. We get very passionate. But our hard right now was different to our hard when we started. Yes. And that's why me at the start was always like, go all in or it doesn't count. But like me back then, genuinely, a walk every single day, 15 minutes, was hard. Yeah. It was so hard. Right now, yeah, easy. That's a part of my lifestyle. I walk for an hour. But like back then, I didn't have to do too much to start to see things change and me feel better, because back then I just needed to do something. And then the more you did it, the more confident you felt because you were following through with what you said you were going to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling as well. And I know that we're going to talk about this down the track, but I was like literally thinking about this morning. It's like the journey that you go on is the best part. And like, it sounds cliche because it's so true. Like, it's the journey. So I know that, and I've said this to you before,
Kirra quotes.
but like, you know, I in looking at it in like kind of two different lenses. So like the first one being like, I feel like it's a lot of motivation for like women that I know in particular. It's, I want to go to the gym to get skinny. And I totally had that. Like when I first started, I was like, I don't care what I have to do, I want to get skinny. And that meant, you know, falling into like unhealthy like eating habits and like not sleeping properly and you know, pushing myself a lot and
not eating.
Yeah,
we've all been there.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
it's such a tricky trap to fall into, and it doesn't help that we get all this pressure from society. But that's another podcast.
Oh, we could harp on about society.
That society. But yeah, so, you know, I might have started with that mindset, but now I know that the thing that motivates me is being with community and being with people. So Pole, shout out Piss and Pole? Piss and Pole Studio. Lol, sorry. But, you know, like going to Pole, going to Ariel's, going to Pilates, going to the gym, like, you know, hanging out with people like you that motivate me and make me feel so good. Like, that became the thing that I was just doing in my schedule, and that's the thing that I look forward to now. It's like, obviously, you know, I aesthetically, instead of going, oh, I'm going to the gym to be skinny, you know what I'm saying now? I'm going to the gym to be strong. And I love that. It is so like revolutionary to look back on that and to go, you know what? I'm having so much fun every single week. I'm looking forward to the workouts that I'm doing because I enjoy doing it around people, and some people don't, but like that's your schedule, that's fine. And now it's like, yes, even though I'm working really hard to like, you know, like lose some weight, gain some muscle, obviously those goals and that progress like will never stop. But it's just the fact that I'm taking it, you know, that one step at a time, but I'm enjoying the journey and I love it.
Yes.
I know, like, and Kirra quote, I don't want to get, you know, into the nursing home one day and like, you know, be towards the end of my life and look back at myself now and go, oh, I was so beautiful. I was so beautiful. Why didn't I see that? Why didn't I appreciate that? Because I even get that now, like, you know, and I'm sure that you feel the same sometimes because we've talked about this. Like, you know, you look back at pictures of yourself and you're like, I remember feeling so insecure right at that moment as that was taken. And now I'm just like, you're beautiful.
Yes.
And I know that even though I have these insecurities now, I'm going to feel that way when I'm in a nursing home one day, when I'm talking to my grandkids. Like, I'm going to wish that I had lived this fun lifestyle where I felt good in my body, I was doing things, I had great friends, and I really enjoyed being in my 20s. That's what I want out of this whole thing, you know, doing this podcast, doing fitness things, trying to get my nutrition back on track. Shout out Riley Deck Coaching. But like, I want to just absolutely love my 20s and go, man, I have fun. That was great. I have fun. Who knows? It might happen, it might not. But right now, I'm trying my hardest to get to that point.
And I love that. Mic drop. I love that. But it's so true, right? And I think I keep reminding myself too, especially being postpartum and having, you know, a new body. And again, it's like that whole body image and fitness journey, it just changes again. And it's like, life is too short to be hard on yourself and to be hating yourself, really. So I think for me as well, it's like that mindset that it's so much deeper than just losing weight and fitness, because it's like it's the things you learn, it's the mindset that you gain, and you actually start to look at life differently, because life's too short to sit there and not do the things that you want to do and to not feel the way that you want to feel, because at the end of the day, it's all about how we're wanting to feel. It's not, you know, chasing the way you look, because if you're starting this journey and skinny's your only why, it's not enough. It's not enough. You will
Write that down.
Write that down. Quotes with Zoe, okay? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it's like, life is too short, you know? So it's like, that's why we're here. That's why we're sharing our journey. It's vulnerable. It's uncomfortable at times. But, I mean, little us, past us, whatever. Yeah. I wish like I could sit her down, hey, both of us, and just have that conversation. And I love that we've learnt what we've learned, because it's like, this is what it's all about, really. It's just feeling good in your skin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like as you've said, like obviously, like we've been through stuff, like everybody's been through stuff, but I owe it to myself right now, to 24-year-old Kirra.
Yeah.
I owe it to 40-year-old Kirra. I owe it to 4-year-old Kirra. Like, actually maybe not that young, but
don't all cry. Having a little girl now, that hits different.
Yes, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I know that it's going to be the same for me, like one day. But it's like that, like I want to be the type of person that little baby Kirra would look up at and go, she's so cool.
Oh.
I want to be her.
Yeah.
And like literally, like it like gets me emotional talking about it, because like I owe it to her to live the best life that I can. I owe it to my younger self. I owe it to myself now. I owe it to my older self. Like, if I, you know, am doing this fitnessy stuff in my schedule and I don't enjoy it, like, what's the point?
It won't stick either, right? Because
it's not going to stick. I'm not going to get results. And like, honestly, that, you know, they say like, yeah, like laughter is the best medicine. And like, like, it's so true. Like, if you're not happy doing these things, what do you need to do to fix it? Like, you need to, and I'm sure that you've done the same with like your schedule. If something is bothering you, like in your life, and you know, everything's different, every situation is different, but like, at least for me, it's like, if something is bothering me in my life, especially with this like fitness stuff that's, you know, coming up and we're making this journey into, I know that I need to sit down and look at it and go, what am I going to fix? Because if I'm not happy and motivated, it doesn't have to be 100%. If I'm not happy and motivated and loving it, I need to sit down, make the conscious effort to make that change and see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, if I try something new and it doesn't work out, I can say that with confidence. But I, you know, have come so far, you have come so far, we've come so far that we can't backtrack anymore. Like, we know this knowledge now, I guess. And, you know, our younger selves would be so proud of us. And I hope that our older selves look back on this one day and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe we took that risk. I can't believe we did that. You know?
Yeah, because it's trial and error, right? Like, you don't know until you try.
You don't know until you try.
Yeah, and
Seriously.
I think we've all been the victim of our circumstances before too, and it's like, I don't have time though, like, you know, or we're blaming everything else around us, but it's like, yeah, like you said, even just sitting down and looking at your schedule and going, this is important to me, where can I fit it in? Because if it's important to me, I'll make it happen. And I really have taken that lesson across even the relationships in my life. If it's important to them, they'll make it happen. They'll reach out. They'll whatever. And it goes both ways too. But it's like, I just see it everywhere now, because it's like, ever since that sunk in of people will do what they prioritize, you see it everywhere. Whether it's like scrolling for hours and hours every single day and then complaining that they don't have time. I've been there, and that's why I can confidently say it. It's like, oh, but I don't have time. But it's like, we've both been those girls that work full time and blame working full time, even though we hadn't, you know, had kids at the time or whatever, but also had been the girls that were working full time and were balancing our goals and being in a deficit and doing the hard things and getting up in winter even though it was cold and joining studios and gyms even though we didn't know anyone or we didn't know how to do the things, but we still showed up and we did it. And it's easier now. It's like the beginning's the hardest part.
Exactly. It's like, you have to embrace being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize this, you know, until I like started like pole and hammock and stuff like that. But like, it's okay to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's okay, yeah, to kind of like step in and go, I know nothing about this. Like, let's get these resources from the people around me, friends and family, like all that stuff. And let's actually just live in this uncomfortable period for a bit, because I know that if I love it, even if I'm uncomfortable, if I love it, I'm going to get better at it.
Yes, and it's almost like a swap too. Like, it's not even that if you feel overwhelmed currently and you feel like your plate's full, it's not that you're adding all of these goals and time in your schedule to what you're doing. It's actually swapping out the other things that aren't, you know, helping you be who you want to be or are getting you anywhere with your goals. Even if it's like your sleep and it's actually going to bed that hour earlier and getting up that hour earlier. It's all the same time in the day. It's just prioritizing what you want to prioritize and just making those swaps, because even if it's a money thing, walking's free. Or if you do want to get a membership to something, it's like, is it taking away even one extra takeaway meal out of your week to then put it towards that membership? Like, maybe there is the money there for it. And I know from when I was a broke uni student living out of home that I would use the money excuse a lot. And I'd say, oh, but I'm too broke. Oh, I can't afford that, but they can because they live at home. Or I'd just be blaming everything else around me. But it was actually me prioritizing putting the extra money on drinking, or maybe it was takeaway and meals out or whatever. But it was actually there. It just required a swap, you know.
100%.
So that's a wrap for our first ever episode.
Yay.
It's very exciting that we finally have just done it. We've recorded and I think we've just been so excited for weeks where finally we've just been able to, just give you a little bit of a wrap on our stories and tell you a bit about who we are and what we're sort of wanting to talk about, because I think it's more along that fitness, wellness, mindset sort of space. So yeah, if you have any feedback, please let us know. But yeah, we'd appreciate if you rated us 5 stars or left a comment.
Please, because like honestly, we would love to hear feedback. If you have any, ideas for what you want to see on the pod. I know that it's early days. We've got a lot of things planned, but we, just did this because we love it. And that, I guess, is kind of just to wrap things up nicely. The, I guess, kind of lesson that we have kind of gone through over, our journeys and even just through this journey of wanting to start the podcast is it's not that serious. Just start. Just do one small step at a time, and you can really kind of only get better if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part, is the beginning. So I think we'll start to unpack a little bit more about that. If you're maybe someone who's feeling like you've been on this journey, you've been going through the cycle of start, stop, and you're wanting to get to this version of yourself or do the hard things, but you just feel stuck and paralyzed of not even knowing where to start. I think like as we progress through our episodes, we'll be able to give you some helpful advice on that, because we've been there. And I think there'll be something that hopefully is helpful to you that you can take from each episode. So
100%.
Yeah.
And even if you're in your 20s, 30s, if you're not, then we absolutely appreciate you coming on and having a little listen and hearing our perspectives.
Just coming along the journey too. I think like we've learnt so much, but we're still in a space of we're still learning. We don't have it all worked out, but we're just figuring it out as we go. And now we have this amazing space where we can share those things along the way. So
100%. Shout out Tammy Roche.
Thank you so much for being here, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.